Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening. My name is Karl Yergey, and I am your daughter or son's instructor for United States history, coming to you from PAL 114, which is our classroom. What I'd like to share with you over the next few minutes is not only some information about me, but also some of the particulars about United States history. So I'm going to walk you through that as best as I am able. And I am therefore going to be clicking back and forth like I would do in the academic day, which can get a little crazy at points. So what I want to start off with is a brief kind of St. James resume, if you will. My name is there at the top, Karl Yergey. My email address is there as well. This is by far the best way to get in touch with me. As I share the face-to-face on-campus boarding students' schedule, although I will admit that I am up far earlier than they are on a normal day, and I am also asleep far earlier than they are on a normal day. In terms of my background, this is my 18th year at St. James. Educationally, I grew up here in Maryland, but I went to college in Lancaster, Pennsylvania, Franklin and Marshall College, the same place as Mr. Batson. And as some of you know, Mr. Meehan, we're also in Mr. Meehan's classroom, and he is also a graduate of Franklin and Marshall College. My master's degree is in European history, earned from Boston College back in 1990. And then I started but did not complete a PhD in American history at WVU. The story behind that is while I did my classwork and I passed my comprehensive exams, my dissertation committee, as you may know, decided they didn't care for my topic, although the joke's on them now because I was looking at a series of yellow fever epidemics that took place in Baltimore and the associated public health and medical protocols involved in that. And as we're in the middle of something similar, the joke's on them because maybe they had an expert on their hands and they didn't know it. In terms of publications, I am both a published historian and a published chemist, which is kind of mind-blowing to some, but these are the facts. I teach both United States history and modern European history, as you see, although it's just one block of United States history this year. My academic experience has been broadened not only by serving as an AP US, AP European, and AP Government and Politics instructor, but also as a reader for AP US and AP Gov. So I've read 15 or 20,000 essays for the College Board. So that's good experience to have as a classroom instructor. In addition to that, I've attended 1 to 3 week long workshops, not only on the Supreme Court, but also relating to World War II and the role of World War II in Southeast Asia, civil rights, and at the bottom experience, I had the good fortune to meet the late Ruth Bader Ginsburg when we spent a week at the United States Supreme Court. As many of you know already, but it bears repeating what I do here on campus. I serve with Mr. Camp as a weekend duty captain, so I'm on call 24 hours a day, every third week from Monday to Monday. I live above the infirmary. I coach golf. I serve on the Honor Council as one of the 2 faculty representatives, and my current assignment for evening study hall. While the McIntyre room, I am currently floating as I help Mr. Zawi and Mrs. Zawi after the birth of their second child, Benedict. Off campus, I like to golf, perhaps obviously. I also like to travel and take pictures on the back wall of the classroom, although you can't see it. The students can, whether they are virtual or in person. Pictures related to my summer golf trip where I went out west in a socially responsible way. And I am also a bicycle safety advocate. At the same time, let me then share with you Blackbaud. So I need to click back and forth between things that I can share with you. And let me see if I can do that. And this muttering to myself and to the camera is par for the course during virtual learning. Let's see, Blackbaud should have appeared for you. I hope that it has. You see the schedule for the day. Today happens to be Sunday, October 11th. And then let me jump to United States history for D block, 2-hour main page. Here on the main page, While we've just finished modules 1 and 2 and the supplemental readings associated with that, we are now about to begin on Monday, October 12th, modules 3 and 4. And these links here are links to the textbook. So whether a student has the hardbound copy, which looks like this, or needs access online via PDF, simply by clicking one of these two links, it will take them to the particular chapter or module, as the publisher calls it. And here are supplemental readings which go along with that. This comes from, how do I call it, but a guidebook or a help book for AP students, but the information is presented without all of the extra information that comes in a textbook. So some students prefer the textbook version of it, some students prefer the AMSCO version, but a blend of the two is really the right way to be going through this information. And all of this is right here in front of the students, whether they have the book, and some students prefer to keep it in their classroom, in their residence hall room, and others have access to it on the computer at all times. In terms of expectations and other overview type items, these can be clicked here. I found in demoing this lesson for you that if I walk through each of these, it takes too much time. So the course overview is here, which gives you information not only about U.S. history specifically, but general policies and guidelines related to the academic day or the honor code, grading scale and policy here at St. James, which is then linked back to the the St. James handbook. How to calculate your grade is here too, and I'll mention this now because on each of the assignments submitted by Blackbaud, and you'll see that that's what students are asked to do, there is feedback provided for them, and part of that feedback is also their grade. How to calculate your grade for Mr. Yergey's class is pretty simple. Divide the points you've earned by the points possible. There's your grade, and the students have access to that so they can figure that out. Whether new to St. James or a returner to St. James, one of the assignments I'm using this year borrows off of, if you will, Mrs. Latchett's good work that she's done with many of the fifth form students I teach this year, many but not all, in terms of note taking. And what we have here is a link to that and how to perform that assignment. Down below are the links associated largely with the research paper process. That's a process that I look to begin in January once all of us are, fingers crossed, here on campus, because I think the research paper process is much more easily taught and done in a face-to-face manner than trying to do that virtually. So Turnitin, Sweet Search, and the Chicago or Turabian style are the links for that process that we'll encounter later this year. In the minute or so that remain, let me show you assignments. These are the assignments for the remainder of the month, actually. The quiz at the top is one that has just been completed, but I'm waiting to grade one of them, so it's still shown as live. And then you see the different assignments concluding with the reminder at the bottom that we have a test right at the end of the conclusion of the first quarter. Some of these assignments are review, as you see, for the 22nd, for example. Others are of a different variety, and let me click on one and hope that I've guessed correctly. And I have. So the assignment you see here for Friday, October 23rd, I selected one that I know the students haven't worked ahead on so that no one's embarrassed whether he or she has submitted it at this point in the morning on the 11th of October. It asks that they read a particular section from Module 4, that is Lesson 2, to look over some of the information from AMSCO. They have those pages already, as well as the Constitution of the United States, and to answer particular questions related to the same. And in terms of how to submit by uploading a PDF or a Microsoft Word document to Blackbaud. After that's done, after it's submitted, you can see on the left that it comes live when it's submitted. I then provide feedback, and students can see not only that feedback, but their grade for that assignment. So we've been told to keep this to 5 to 10 minutes. And those 10 minutes are nearly up, but I wanted to end by showing you my face again, scary as that might be, to say thank you for watching, whether that's in the morning, the afternoon, or the evening, and to mention once again that should you have questions or concerns, the best way to get in touch with me is through email, akyergey@stjames.edu. Thank you for watching, and I look forward to seeing you and our virtual students when we return to campus, fingers crossed, in January of 2021. Thank you, and goodbye.